I love me a good sequel. What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So I am incredibly excited for this video. Incredibly excited. So recently I made a video talking about outdated DJ terminology, different phrases and words and things that I think that should be kind of like taken out of your marketing because it's played out or just straight up outdated and might give, you know, your potential clients a bad perception about you, right? Well, afterwards, I thought of more shit. So here we are with a part 2 on DJ terminology that we should probably stop using, in my opinion. And before I get into this, I just want to remind you guys that I started this channel to help DJs all around the world. You know, before I did videos, I realized that there's a lot of people making videos out there that kind of sugarcoat things or hold back, you know, the real nuggets because they're scared that if other people know their nuggets and, you know, it's going to affect their business. I've never been like that. I don't hold back. I try and give as much value as possible. I genuinely want to help all of you guys succeed and grow your careers as DJs. That is my goal in this channel. But in addition to that, I also like talking shit. So this is gonna be one of those videos. So if you've ever been triggered by one of my videos in the past, you know, if you've ever gotten butthurt by something I've said in the past, I'm gonna advise you to turn this one off. Now, everything I'm about to say, I believe in with my whole heart. These are my opinions, but that's all they are. Opinions, okay? What's that old saying? There's more than one way to skin a chicken or a carrot or something like that, whatever it is. I'm not saying this is the end all be all. I'm not saying that my opinion is the only way to do things. These are just my opinions, okay? So I'm about to talk a lot of shit, but you shouldn't take it to heart because, you know, everybody's different, everybody's marketing's different, and whatever works for you, okay? But anyway, now that I got all my disclosures out of the way since the year is 2021, let's have some fun, people. So the first thing I want to talk about is the words we use to describe our events. Like the word gig. Someone brought this up in the comments and I totally agree, and it's something Jason Jan I said before. You know, when you use the word gig, especially when you're using it to describe let's say a wedding, you're kind of downplaying the importance of it, in my opinion. Oh, I got a gig. I just got a gig this weekend. Yeah, I got a gig on Saturday. It doesn't really sound good in reference to a wedding, in my opinion. I've always been a believer in thinking that every wedding is the Super Bowl because it is. It's very, very important. Everybody who puts on a wedding, the couple, the family, everything, it's a very important event to them, if not the most important event ever. So referring to it as a gig just makes it sound like it's just another job. I have an event this Saturday, or I have a wedding this Saturday. I have to DJ a wedding this Saturday. Just call it what it is. I wouldn't call it a gig. If you're working at a bar, you know, you're doing country line dancing somewhere, or you're doing trivia at Applebee's or whatever, that could be a gig, but I wouldn't use gig in reference to a wedding because it totally downplays the importance, in my opinion. But that's not even the worst word. You know what the worst word to me is? Show. Why do so many of you call your events shows? It's hilarious. I don't get it. I think it sounds so stupid. So stupid. Oh, I got a show this weekend. Oh, I got 3 shows. I'm getting my stuff ready for my show on Friday. Is it a show? You're gonna put on a show? I mean, talk about, you know, downplaying importance. Talk about taking all the attention off the couple and what the entire event is about and putting it on you. Oh yeah, I got a show. It's a show. It's where I'm gonna put on a show. It's about me. I mean, yeah, the couple will be there too. You know, they'll be there. They're getting married and all that. That's cool. But you know, it's a show. I'm putting on a show. The show is me. I got a show this weekend. You get where I'm coming from, right? It just sounds egotistical, cocky, you know, full of yourself. It sounds like you don't care about the wedding itself. It sounds like it's just all about you and your performance, which is another word that I can't stand. All you DJs that say I have a performance this weekend. Oh yeah, well, I'll be performing on Friday night, so yeah, I can't make the plans. Thursday night, big performance. Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna come? I get it, we perform, you know, we have to perform our, you know, sets. We have to perform by emceeing. I mean, we're technically performing, but it just sounds terrible. It sounds just cocky. It sounds like you're full of yourself. Stop using this terminology. I think it's terrible. How hard is it just to say, I have to DJ? I have a wedding on Friday. I have 3 events this weekend. How hard is that? Like, that's all, it's that simple. You don't have to call it a show. You don't have to call it a performance. You don't have to call it gigs. Like, these are all terrible keywords that a lot of you have a habit of saying, and it makes me cringe every time, especially performance and show. Like, those two words make my butthole pucker every time, just every time. You gotta remember that us DJs, we have a reputation for having big egos, for being cocky and all that, for being douchey. Like, people think DJ and douchey in the same sentence. Like, it just goes hand in hand. It's just like car salesman and slime ball who's gonna rip me off. Like, it's just like, what else? Like, give me something else. I'm out of metaphors, but regardless, you get what I'm saying. All you're doing is feeding into this stereotype by saying, I have a show or I have to perform this weekend. Unless you're on a festival stage, unless someone had to buy tickets to come see you DJ, you should not be using the words performance or show ever. Speaking of DJs with egos that feed into our terrible stereotype that hangs over our head just because we like music and like to make people dance for a living, let's talk about DJs who say they have fans. I just don't like the sound of it. I don't. To me, unless you're an A-list celebrity, unless you have a blue check mark by your name on social media, you shouldn't be referring to the people that support you, the people that like you, the people that, you know, whatever, look up to you. If you have people like that, you shouldn't be referring to them as fans. Like, I just disagree. I hate the sound of it. It just sounds like you just think you're too cool. Like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't have a good explanation for this. I just don't like it. I just think it sounds just cocky and stupid. If you're watching this and you're lucky enough to have like a group of people that support your content, that watch your stuff, or, you know, you might have gotten a message or two saying, hey, you know, you've really helped me out, or you inspire me or whatever. Like, if you're in that position, just be thankful to be in that position. Don't go around saying, oh yeah, this is a message for my fans, or I love my fans, or I do it for my fans. Like, it just, you sound so douchey. And speaking about douchey, my segues are on point today. How about talking about yourself in the third person? I'm gonna tell you right now, Nick Spinelli does not like it when you talk in the third person. Nick Spinelli actually thinks that the second you start saying your own name and refer to yourself, you absolutely sound like a douche immediately. Nick Spinelli believes that there's no situation where you should be saying your own name in a sentence. Another way that DJs like kind of inadvertently maybe talk about themselves in the third person is like the few of you that quote yourself. I've literally seen some of you guys post on Instagram a quote, like a picture, and then it'll have a quote over top of it in quotations, like literally whatever you've said before, and then underneath it'll say your name, and you posted it yourself. You literally said something out loud, was feeling it, like you were feeling whatever you said so much that you decided to make a graphic with that quote, and then literally put yourself underneath and be like, yo, this is my own quote, and then post it. Like, if you don't agree that quoting yourself is a douchebag thing to do, you need outside help. You need to go to like douchebag rehab. Like, you need like an intervention with all your closest friends and family. Like, that's the only thing that's gonna help you. The next word Nick Spinelli wants to talk, I'm just kidding. All right, the next word I want to talk about is dope. And this is a word that I use often, honestly, and I kind of want to stop using it because it is getting played out. I mean, you tell me, I mean, you might disagree with me, let me know in the comments or whatever, but this is something that I'm seeing more and more DJs use and overuse and overuse and overuse, and it's getting to the point where we gotta find a new word, people. Like, as a unit, like me and you both, we need to find a new word. Like, it's getting so overused within our industry, I think we all need to collectively agree to make dope mean drugs again. But that's it, people. That was fun. I had a great time. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Put it down below. I'm gonna be doing more of these too, because every time I turn off the camera, I think of something else. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to say this. And then, you know, we keep it moving. So I think it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun exercise. Don't say these words anymore, people. Just take my advice. Trust me. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.